Find a comfortable position on your mat. It's going to be your best friend for at least another 60 minutes plus the guided meditation. So, good friend. And just wriggle around on your mat, just to, if you want to and need to move that beautiful fleshy part of your glutes away so that you actually can connect with your sit bones, do so. And just wriggle around, rotate your shoulders just to get comfy for wherever you are. I can see people are writing in the chat. I can't see that far. It just pops up, but I hope everything's fine. And just allow your hands to rest wherever they want to rest, be it on your knees, be it in your lap. If they're in your lap, make sure you have your left hand on your right hand. If you're in a receiving mood, have your palms facing up on your knees. If you feel grounding is needed today, just turn your palms facing down onto your knees. Don't hold on to anything, just very relaxed. And I'd like you to go into your body and just go on a bit of a journey through your body from your toes all the way up to the tip of your head, and just scan it for any dis-ease or discomfort. If you need to shift while you're doing that, please do so. This is your class. This is for you. It's your time. It's all about you. And if you find any dis-ease or discomfort, acknowledge it on your inhale and just allow it to soak into your mat, flow out of your body on your exhale. And just keep repeating that for another 2 to 3 breaths. Make sure your thighs, hips, and belly are nice and relaxed. Your shoulders and forehead are relaxed as well. Just arriving in this space and letting go of whatever is not needed anymore. We're going to take 3 deep inhales through our nose, and we're going to exhale through our open mouth. When you inhale, try to lengthen that spine easily without force, reaching your crown chakra up to the ceiling. And then exhale through an open mouth. If you want to let your breath go on a sigh, please do so. And relax that body. And do 2 more. Just have to see and unmute people who are joining. Excuse me. Make yourself nice and tall on your inhale. And exhale through your open mouth, softening your spine. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, grow tall, rooting your sit bones into the ground, reaching your crown chakra up towards the ceiling. And then exhale on a sigh. And allow your spine to get round from your tailbone past your lumbar spine, your chest and shoulders, and then relax your head down towards your lap. You might feel the beautiful stretch along your neck and across your shoulder blades. And on the next inhale, come on up, lengthen that spine, and then take your hands in front of your heart center, your thumbs touching your sternum, and lower your forehead down to your fingertips. And think of something, a wish, a dedication, a mantra, an affirmation, just for you that can lead you through the class, maybe the rest of the day, and perhaps the rest of next week. Once you've found it, repeat it to yourself 3 times. And then take those thumbs up to your forehead And just repeat it one last time, just to get that connection to your mind as well. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, take your hands down, wriggle your fingers, keeping your eyes closed if you feel comfortable like that. Place your hands onto your belly. If you want to encircle your belly button with your thumbs and your index fingers, you do so. Relaxing your thighs, hips, and shoulders. We're going to inhale through our nose and exhale through our nose. We're going to count to 4 on the inhale, count to 6 on the exhale, repeating it 3 times. If my counting is too slow, please do not force yourself. Do it in your own rhythm, just making sure that your exhale is longer than your inhale. Let's begin. Inhale, 4, 3, expanding your belly like a balloon, 2, and 1. Feel the bottom ribs being pushed away. And then exhale, 6, 5, 4, 3. Pull the belly button back gently to your spine, 2, and 1. And inhale again, expanding your belly, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3. Belly button back towards the spine gently, and 1. Last inhale into your belly, 4, 3. Expand that belly like a balloon. Feel that stretch, 1. And exhaling, 6, 5, 4, 3. Pulling your belly button back towards your spine, 2, and 1. And then take your hands up, gently placing the palms of your hands onto your rib cage. Your shoulders are relaxed. You're going to inhale into the belly for 4, 3. Pull that same breath up into your rib cage and expand it slightly. 1. And exhale from your ribs, slightly curling them in. 6, 5, 4, 3. Pull your belly button back, 2, and 1. Inhale again into your belly, 4, 3. Expanding it, pulling that breath up into your rib cage, expanding it, growing wide. And start exhaling from your ribs, curling them in. 6, 5, 4, 3. Belly button back, 2, and 1. Last inhale into your belly, 4, 3. Expanding it, pulling up that breath into your rib cage, 2, 1. And exhaling, 6, 5. Curl those ribs in. 3. Belly button back, 2, and 1. Now take your fingertips and lightly touch them against your collarbones. Your thighs, hips, belly, and shoulders are relaxed. Inhale into your belly. 4, 3. Pull that breath up into your rib cage, and then all the way up to your collarbones, sitting a tad bit taller. And start exhaling from your collarbones. 6, 5. Curl your ribs in. 4, 3. Belly button back, 2, and 1. And inhale again into your belly. 4, 3. Pull that breath up into your rib cage, 2. And all the way up to your collarbones. And start exhaling from your collarbones. 6, 5. Curl your ribs in. 4, 3. Belly button back, 2, 1. Last time, breathing into your belly. 4. Expanding that belly. 3. Pull that breath up into your rib cage, 2. and all the way up to your collarbones. And exhale, 6, 5, curl your ribs in, 4, 3, and pull your belly button back, 2, and 1. And take your hands down and place them onto your mat, left and right of your thighs. And just travel into your body to see how you feel. Calmness should be from head to toe, and peace should be in your mind. When we get anxious or scared, we tend to just breathe up in our upper lung area, not oxygenating the body enough. So please, if you get into a situation where you don't feel comfortable, just do a couple of deep belly breaths. If you can't, it distracts you from whatever's going on and giving you a hard time. On the next inhale, open your eyes, interlace your fingers, reach those hands up, stretching from your hips. You're grounding your sit bones into the mat, so you'll feel that stretch from your hip bones along your side bodies. Reach those shoulders up, gently tugging on your wrists, so you'll feel the stretch across your palms as well. If you hear any cracking noises, it's okay. Exhale, take your hands down, rotating your wrists so the palms are facing away from you. You'll feel a stretch across your chest, maybe in your anterior deltoids, and gently tug your shoulders away from your ears. So you'll feel a stretch from your earlobes along your neck and across your shoulder girdle. Let's go inhale one more time. Reach your arms up. If you want to wriggle your spine, do so, and then take your arms behind your head. So your upper arms are behind your ears, still stretching all the way along your side body, into your shoulders, along your arms, across your hands, feeling that beautiful stretch. And then exhale, come on down, twisting your palms away from your body, wrists gently pulling down and across your hands, shoulders pulling down as well. And then tug your chin down towards your chest. So you'll get an added stretch along your neck. On the next inhale, let go of your fingers. Wriggle your fingers and rotate your wrists in both directions. And let's come into a kneeling position. And I'll leave it up to you. I'll turn sideways, whether you want to have your feet flat down or whether you want to curl your toes under. If you do curl your toes under, you'll feel a stretch across your toes and along the soles of your feet. Obviously, you can alternate between both positions. If kneeling is not an option for you, then stay in lotus. Keeping your sit bones nicely connected to your heels, place your right fingertips or hand, depending on how you are built, onto the mat, and then reach up on your inhale with your left arm, feeling that stretch here again from your hip bone all along your side body into your fingers, and actively pull that shoulder out of its joint. And on the exhale, we're going to start bending over to the right and start bending in between your hip and your lower ribs. So your obliques will get nicely stretched. Keep the sit bones connected to your heels and look up to the ceiling while you keep stretching. Stretch your shoulder and imagine somebody standing next to you, gently tugging on your wrist. Gently pull that left shoulder blade down towards your sit bone. Keep exhaling. And then on the next inhale, slowly come on up into upright seated position. Drop your left hand down to the mat and just sit and see how that left side feels compared to the right side. This should be nice and long, or feel nice and long and air conditioned. On the next inhale, reach your right hand up. Again, start pulling from your right hip across your side body, and then pull that right shoulder up towards your ear, up towards the ceiling. Fingertips are reaching for the ceiling. And then exhale, start bending from your right hip across your right side body up into your armpit. And then gently twist your head so you're gazing up towards the ceiling. Gently move that right shoulder away from your ears, right shoulder blade coming down towards your sit bone. And if you feel like you can move even more, you can bend more, move your left hand further away from your thighs. Feel that stretch in your obliques. On the next inhale, come on back. Drop the right hand down towards the mat and just sit and see whether both sides are equally stretched now. We're going to repeat on each side one more time. Inhale, reach that arm up. And I'd really like you to feel that stretch all the way up into your fingertips. And then exhale, start bending over to the right, keeping your pelvis as square as possible. And then gaze up towards the ceiling, pulling that left shoulder away from your ear gently, shoulder blade pulling down towards your sit bone. Keep pulling, stretching a bit more. And on the next inhale, come on back and deposit your left hand onto the mat. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Fingertips are nicely pointing up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, start bending from your right hip across your right side body. Gaze up towards the ceiling, pulling your right shoulder away from your hip, from your ear. And pull your right shoulder blade down towards your sit bone. And keep bending for as long as it feels comfortable to you. On the next inhale, come on back. Deep inhale, rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards. And on the next inhale, reach your fingertips out towards the side of your room. Your fingers are splayed. Always make sure that you can feel that stretch in between each and every digit. Make sure your arms are parallel to your mat. Your palms are facing forward. You're not bending at the wrist. And reach those fingers out. And you should feel a stretch across your palms, along your arm, maybe to your elbow, maybe a bit in your tricep, and in between your shoulder blades. On the next exhale, go wrap those arms around yourself, grab your shoulders or shoulder blades, and pull your shoulders away from your ears. Drop your chin down towards your chest. Here you'll feel a stretch in between those shoulder blades and along your neck. On the next inhale, go out again. Reach those fingertips away from your body. And now we're going to move those arms behind, opening your chest. Keep those shoulders pulled away from your ears. Arms are nice and straight and as parallel as possible to your mat. And squeeze that fleshy bit in between your shoulder blades. Your core is lightly tight so that you don't fall into a hollow back. And then drop your chin down towards your chest. On the next exhale, wrap your arms around your body again, the other arm on top this time. Grab shoulders or shoulder blades, pull your shoulders away from your ears, and then drop your chin down towards your chest. On the next inhale, come on back, rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards. If you hear any scrunchy noises, that's normal too, sadly. Let's come and meet in tabletop. Make sure that your knees are hip distance apart. Your feet are flat on the ground and you get a 90-degree angle between your lower body and your upper body. Your fingers are splayed and the wrists are under your shoulders. If you are unsure of how to get your hands to be shoulder width apart, come on down onto your elbows and grab the outside of your elbow with the palm of your hand. That is shoulder width apart. And then you can extend your hands again, splaying your fingers, come on up, and then just slide them back under your shoulders. Very good. Try to get an L shape in between your thumbs and index fingers. We're going to inhale. We're going to tighten that belly slightly, tuck those toes under, and we're going to lift those knees off the mat, firmly pressing into the toes. Your heels are pulling away from your body, and you're gazing down towards the mat. Your upper back is slightly rounded, pushing up towards the ceiling. If this is too strenuous, please lower your knees down onto the mat again and just keep pushing into the palms of your hands, stretching your arms. Getting a nice stretch from your fingertips all the way up into your neck. Going to stay for another 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down, flatten your toes, and come on into a child's pose, allowing your lower abdomen and chest to relax onto your thighs. Drop your forehead down onto the mat and allow those fingertips to walk away from your body on your inhale, lengthening the entire backside from your sit bones all the way up to your fingertips. Try to keep the connection between your sit bones and your heels. And on the exhale, allow those hands to gently slide towards your head, relaxing your shoulders away from the ears. You should feel a nice easing and opening in your lumbar spine area. While you inhale, walk those fingertips away again, stretching across your armpits and along your arms. And slowly exhale, allow those hands to glide towards your head again. One more inhale. Deep inhale, walk those fingertips away from your head, lengthening from your sit bones, past your shoulders into your arms. And exhale, allow the shoulders to slide away from your ears. On the next inhale, lift your forehead, come back into tabletop, and I'd like you to turn your hands so that your fingertips are facing your knees. Again, make sure that your wrists are under your shoulders. Keep adjusting until they're in one line. Your fingers are splayed, your pinky fingers are touching. Now, if this is enough of a stretch for you across your wrist, maybe even across the palm of your hand, then you stay like this. Make sure you pull your shoulders away from your ears. Imagine the tips of your shoulder blades want to go touch your sit bones, and you're gazing down towards your mat. Pressing all 10 fingers into the mat, we're going to gently sway back and forth, not breaking the connection between your hands and the mat. You will feel that stretch in your lower arms. Depending on what you've been doing, you might feel it even more. If you want added stretch, tuck your toes under and come up into downward facing dog. Might sound strange. The stretch is slightly bigger and more intense, but not a lot. I'll stay down on my knees and keep swaying back and forth, feeling that beautiful stretch, and keep checking in with your shoulders that you're pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Your core is slightly tight, but only slightly. On the next exhale, we're going to start sitting down onto our heels, but we're going to keep the connection with our hands and the mat for as long as possible. So you can roll over the palms of your hands and your fingers, and then just sit on your heels and take your hands and place them in your lap. And sit with that sensation to see how that feels. There might be tingling across your hands, tingling all the way up your arm, but sit with it. And then slowly start moving those fingers gently. And then you can rotate your wrists in both directions. And we're going to come back into a tabletop. And this time I'd like you to turn your hand, top of the hand facing down. Might sound slightly ridiculous, but give it a try, please. So all 10 fingernails are pressing firmly into the mat, the thumbs as well. I'm going to turn towards the mat so that you can see. Your thumbs are touching, your fingers are splayed, and make sure that your wrist is looking straight forward. So it's going in the same direction as the top of your head. The eye of the elbow is also looking away from you. So it's open. Pull your shoulder blades back from your ears. And if that is enough of a stretch, you'll feel it all the way from your wrists up into your elbow. Then you stay like that. If not, if you can't feel anything, make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, and now gently sway backwards and forwards. Obviously, the further back you move, the bigger the strain is along your arm and across the top of your hand. Be gentle, be mindful, feel it, but don't feel any pain. And we keep swaying back and forth. 2 more. And keep breathing. Something hurts, we stop breathing. So please keep breathing. And with the next exhale, slowly roll over the top of your hands and come to sit on your heels again, and just place your hands into your lap, either palm facing down or up. I'll leave that up to you. And just sit with that feeling that is coursing through your hands, your wrists, and your lower arms. Something we never stretch: fingers, hands, wrists, or toes. And at the mention of toes, let's wriggle those fingers and tuck those toes under for those of you who can. If you've had a bunion operation or any other issue with your toes, please don't do that. No pain. Just sit on them and then take your fingertips behind your body. Inhale into your chest, open the chest, and then rotate your shoulders back. And either look up towards the ceiling, straight ahead, or if you feel comfortable, drop your head in between your shoulders. So we're opening the entire front side of our body. We're opening our chakras. And just stay here for 2 breaths. 1 more. And on the next inhale, slowly come on up. Place your hands onto the mat, flatten those toes, and come into child's pose, lowering your forehead down onto the mat, taking your arms alongside your thighs, palms facing up, and allow your lower abdominals and your chest to rest on your thighs. Allow gravity to pull your shoulders down towards the mat. I'm going to stay here for 2 breaths. Deep inhale and long exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Now grab your heels with your hands from the outside, firmly. And then curl your head under so that you can rest the top of your head or your crown chakra onto your mat. Your chin is tucked towards your chest. And we're going to inhale, we're going to raise our glutes off our heels, and we're going to roll over the top of our head, firmly holding on to our heels. So you'll feel a stretch along your neck, across your shoulder girdle. And the more you roll over your head, you'll feel that stretch along your arms as well. Inhale and exhale. Try to roll a bit more, feeling that stretch, neck, shoulder girdle, and arms. Stay here for 2 breaths. It's called a rabbit pose. I've never seen a rabbit do this, but maybe some of you have. And on your exhale, slowly lower your glutes down onto your heels. Relax your forehead onto the mat and allow gravity to pull the shoulders down towards the mat too. Should feel an easing in your lumbar spine and across your shoulder girdle. If it's not comfortable having your forehead onto the mat, just turn your head in either direction. On the next inhale, we're slowly going to curl that chin towards our chest again, pressing your knees firmly into the mat and slowly uncurl and come up into a kneeling position, straightening from your lumbar spine up to your shoulders, squaring them, lengthening your neck, and looking straight forward. Rotate your shoulders backwards and forwards, and come into an extended tabletop, meaning taking your hands further away from your body. Fingers are splayed, hands are a bit further apart than shoulder width. We're going to go into puppy pose. So we're going to drop our chest down towards the mat, shifting our glutes backwards and upwards. So imagine your sit bones want to go get a glimpse of the ceiling. You can have your toes flat on the ground, or you can curl your toes under, depending on what's more comfortable for you. I'd like you to look straight forward and allow your chin to drop down towards the mat. You'll feel the stretch along your arms, especially the upper arm. You might feel it across your chest. You should feel an easing in your lumbar spine as well as in your neck. If you're prone to headaches, this is the best pose to get rid of them as fast as possible. Gonna stay here for another 2 breaths. And last inhale here. And long exhale. On the next inhale, come on back into tabletop and tuck your toes under or keep them tucked under. And let's push up into our first downward facing dog. And let's walk that dog. We've been on our knees or in lotus for a while. And while we're walking this dog, I'll walk you through the alignment. So your fingers are splayed, they're shoulder width apart. Your upper arms are rotated out. Your shoulder blades are pulling down towards your sit bones. Your neck is easy. Give it a nod and a shake. Your chest is traveling down towards your thighs. Your gaze either goes to your knees, your thighs, or your belly button, depending on how open your shoulders are. Your feet are hip distance apart. And those sit bones, again, they want to get a glimpse of that ceiling. So slightly tilt your pelvis, almost trying to get into a hollow back. So you'll feel that stretch from your heels all the way along your hamstrings, the entire backside of your body, all the way up to your fingertips. Your knees can either be bent or straight, engaging your legs if and when they are straight. Your heels would like to go down and touch the mat. And just enjoy that beautiful stretch. And imagine somebody's lengthening your spine by pulling your hips away from your shoulders, lengthening. You'll feel your intestines slowly slipping up towards your rib cage. This is a beautiful relaxation and resting pose. For those of you who have your heels on the ground, on the next inhale, raise those toes off the mat. You'll feel the shin muscles activating. Keep breathing, and then on the next exhale, lower those toes down. On the next inhale, let's just lift our feet onto the toes, keeping your chest close to those thighs, trying to get those sit bones even closer up towards the ceiling. And exhale, lower those heels down. Engage in your quads. On the next inhale, look forward and slowly, by rounding your upper back, move forward into a plank. No adjustment should be needed. Come onto the toes, pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Your core is engaged, and pull those heels away from your body so you'll feel your legs engaging as well. You're gazing down towards the mat. Press all 10 fingertips firmly in, or fingers firmly into the mat, so the weight is evenly distributed across your 10 fingers and your 10 toes. On the next exhale, we're going to use our core muscles to pull ourselves back into downward facing dog. Walk you through the adjustment again. Your fingers are splayed, your hands are shoulder width apart. Your upper arms are rotated out, your shoulders are square, and your shoulder blades are pulling down towards your sit bones. Your sit bones want to get a glimpse of the ceiling. Your legs are engaged. Your knees can either be straight or bent. I'll leave that up to you. Heels would like to go and touch the mat. Gaze goes to your thighs or your belly button. On the next inhale, look forward again, move forward into plank. Imagine you're a wave, you're undulating when you're coming forward. Exhale, move back into downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward into plank. And back last time into downward facing dog. On the next inhale, look forward and slowly walk towards your hands. And just allow your upper body to fold forward. You can either have your legs straight or bend your knees. I'll leave that up to you. I'd like you to send your attention into the soles of your feet. So most of the time we're either more in our heels or on the outer edges, or maybe even on the inner edges.
Very rarely are we weighty on our toes, so I'd like you to shift your weight back towards the heels and then shift it forward onto your toes. You can use your hands as security in case you're scared that you might fall forward. Then come back to center, shift your weight to the outer edges of your feet, slightly lifting your inner arches, and you'll feel that stretch in the outside of your legs all the way up into your hips. Then transfer the weight to the inner arches, lifting the outer edges of your mat, slightly getting knock-kneed. Your knees might touching, and you'll feel that stretch across your foot and the inside of your ankle. And then slowly lower the soles of your feet onto the ground. Stretch those legs, grab your elbows, and gently sway from side to side. You'll feel a slight twist in your lumbar spine. That is okay. Inhale, exhale, allow your head to drop further downward, closer to the mat, and then let go of your elbows. Bending your knees, gently roll up into a standing position. Tighten your lower abdominal muscles slightly to protect your lower back. Inhale, reach your hands up, pulling those shoulders all the way up towards your ears. And we're going to exhale, we're going to squat down. Hands are still straight and they go straight forward. Allow your head and gaze to drop down towards the mat, firmly rooting down through the soles of your feet. Inhale, let's come up again. Stretch your legs, stretch your body, and reach those shoulders up. Fingertips go all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, squat down again. Reaching your fingertips away from you, shoulders go away from your ears, gaze goes down towards the mat. One more time, up. Pushing firmly through the soles of your feet. Reach those shoulders away, all the way up towards your ears. And then on the exhale, pull them down towards the rest of your body, taking your hands in front of your heart center. Come to the front of the mat. We're going to flow through the sun salutation. You can either have your feet parallel or your big toes slightly touching and heels apart. Your quads are engaged, your pelvis is slightly tucked under, your belly is engaged. We inhale, reach your hands up, shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. You can either have your legs straight or bent. I'll leave that up to you. Inhale, half lift, placing your hands onto your thighs, pulling your shoulders away from your ears. Try to get a 90-degree angle between your lower body and your upper body, not tilting backwards, having your glutes behind your heels. Gaze goes straight down. On the next exhale, place your hands onto the mat and step back into plank. If this is too strenuous, please drop your knees down onto the mat. I'm going to drop our knees down, flatten those toes, bending those elbows, going down into chaturanga. Keep those elbows really close to your ribs, like little wings. And then slide your entire body down onto that mat. On the next inhale, rotate your shoulders back and gently lift your upper body off the mat, gazing up towards the ceiling into cobra. Tuck your toes under and keeping those elbows close to your ribs, press up over your knees and come into a downward facing dog. Walk that dog, taking your ankles, knees, and hips along, firmly pressing into the mat with your splayed fingers and palms of your hands. And then find some stillness. Give your head a shake and a nod. Reaching those sit bones up towards the ceiling, spreading those shoulder blades. Very good. Feel that stretch. Inhale, look forward, walk towards your hands. Come into a half lift. Hands are on your thighs, gaze down towards the mat so your neck is an elongation of your spine. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, slowly come on up into a standing position, pulling your shoulders away from your ears, hands come in front of your heart center. We're going to do a modification of that. We're going to inhale, reach your hands up, and exhale, come into a low squat, taking your hands apart so palms are facing each other,
There is tension in your thighs. You're not sitting on your heels. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, forward fold with bent legs, allowing your lower abdominals to rest on your thighs. Allow gravity to pull your shoulders and head down towards the mat. On the next inhale, come back up into that low squat. Tension in your arms. Pull your shoulders away from your ears and your shoulder blades reach down towards your sit bones. Exhale, forward fold with bent knees. Belly is resting on your thighs. One more inhale, come on up, low squat. And on the next exhale, place those hands onto the mat. Come back into a plank. Lower your knees down onto the mat. Flatten your toes, bending your elbows really close to your elbows. Come on down and slide your body onto the mat. Your hands are under your shoulders. Inhale, rotate your shoulders back. Slightly bigger back bend, come into cobra, gazing up towards the ceiling. Tuck your toes under and keeping those elbows really close to your ribs, push up over your knees, over via tabletop, come into a downward facing dog. And let's walk that dog again. Taking your ankles, knees, and hips along. If you want to take your shoulders along and gaze under your upper arm, you'll get a nice stretch across your shoulders and upper back as well. And then find some stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step towards your hands and come into a half lift. Hands on thighs, shoulders away from ears, gaze down towards the mat. Come down into that low squat again, hands reaching out, almost like a chair pose, shoulders pulling away from your ears. Inhale, lengthen that spine. Exhale, forward fold with your legs bent, your abdominals resting on your thighs, shoulders and heads reaching down towards the mat. Inhale, come back into that low squat again, reaching the hands away from you, shoulders away from your ears, gaze goes straight. Exhale, forward fold, bent legs, belly on thighs. And then firmly pressing the soles of your feet into the mat, slowly uncurl and come into a standing position, squaring your shoulders, reaching your hands up. Take those shoulders along, all the way up towards your ears. I'll turn towards the camera so anything from your belly button down towards your feet is nicely engaged. And we're going to exhale, we're going to bend over to the right. Bending from your left hip, like similar to the situation we were in beginning of the class, feeling that stretch along your side bodies into your armpits, along your upper arm. Inhale, come back to center. Reach those fingertips up and exhale, move over to the other side. Don't take your hip along. Keeping your hip nice and firm and stable, just bend from your hip along the side body into your armpit and along your arm. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, take your shoulders down, take your hands in front of your heart center. Now come to a seated position onto your mat. Stretch those legs out. Going to do some more stretching of the hamstrings. I'll leave it up to you whether you want to have your feet hip distance apart or together. Just make sure that your legs are engaged, your feet are flexed, your toes are beautifully pulling back towards your body. And then let's move the fleshy soft bits away from our sit bones so that we can ground through our sit bones. We're going to inhale, we're going to reach up, lengthen past our side bodies. Pulling the belly button back towards the spine, we're going to start traveling forward with our sternum. Imagine somebody's pulling you forward towards your toes. We're going to reach our hands past our feet and then allow them to land on the mat. Inhale, lengthen that spine, pulling that belly button back, and then exhale, reach your sternum even further or closer to your toes. We want to allow the belly and the chest to travel down towards our legs. We're gazing towards our toes. And on the next inhale, stretch again. Exhale, allow that head to drop down towards your thighs, knees, or shins.
If you feel there's still a bit more movement somewhere on the inhale, lengthen that spine and walk those fingers past your toes, feeling that stretch along your arm and in your armpits and side bodies as well. And on the exhale, allow that upper body and head to travel even closer towards your legs. We're going to do one more. Inhale, lengthen, pulling that belly button back towards your spine so you get a bit more leverage there to bend, and exhale. Allow that head to drop down further. On the next inhale, raise your gaze towards your toes and use your hands to gently and slowly walk back into a seated position. Very good. Now bend your legs, take them closer towards you. Take your hands behind your body. We're going to go open the front side of the body now. Your thumbs are touching, fingers are splayed. Inhale, open that chest, rotate your shoulders back, and then pressing firmly into your hands, lengthening your arms, lift the pelvis off the mat, reverse tabletop. Make sure that you're firmly pressing into the soles of your feet and into your palms. And if you want to, and you feel healthy enough in your neck, drop your head in between your shoulder blades. Still pressing those hip bones up towards the ceiling. If you don't feel comfortable in your neck like that, just gaze along the front side of your body. Make sure you're firmly pressing those feet and hands into the ground. You'll feel a stretch across the front side of your body, your chest, your anterior deltoids, the palms of your hands, and maybe even the entire length of your arm, depending on how hard you're pressing your palms into the ground. 2 more breaths here. And imagine you got a balloon in between your knees. Don't allow your knees to wander out. If you do, you'll feel pain in your lumbar spine, which we don't want to. One more deep inhale, open the front side of your body. And on the exhale, we're going to slowly lower the glutes down onto the ground. Maybe scoot our feet further away from our body, and then allow your upper body to round and rest on your thighs. And allow your head to travel down towards the mat. Shoulders are either resting on your knees or just slightly hovering above it. Just allow your entire upper body and arms and hands to relax. You might feel tingling in the palms of your hands and along your arms, but that is normal. Blood coursing through those veins. On the next inhale, slowly come on back. Move those hands behind your body, and we're going to straighten our legs, and we're going to go into a reverse plank. It doesn't sound scary. It's easy. Splaying your fingers, your thumbs are touching. Again, inhale into your chest, opening your chest. Rotate your shoulders back, pressing firmly into your heels. Lift your legs and pelvis off the ground. Here as well again. If you feel comfortable, drop your head in between your shoulders. If not, gaze forward or alongside the front side of your body, firmly pressing into the palms of your hands. Lengthening those arms, try to raise your hips to such an extent that your toes can almost touch the mat. I'm going to stay here for another 2 breaths. With every inhale, try to raise the front side of your body further up and away from the mat. And one more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly lower down onto the mat. And just allow your upper body to surrender down towards your thighs. If you're sitting up and that's fine for you, that's good too. If you want to allow your head to travel down towards your shins, good. If you want to bend your legs, that's also good. Anything that alleviates any possible tension that you might have felt in your lumbar spine, just rest your head wherever it is resting now. Be chins, knees, or looking straight forward. You might feel a strain in your shoulders from all the activity just now. That is perfectly normal.
On the next inhale, slowly use your hands to come back into a seated position, taking your feet so that the soles of your feet are facing each other. The distance between your heels and your groin is about the length of your upper body. What we're going to do is we're going to relax the thighs and hips as much as possible, and the top of our head is going to travel down to that small groove formed in between the soles of your feet. So inhale, grounding through your sit bones. Again, if you want to move the fleshy bits away, please do so. And then place your hands left and right of your feet and just allow yourself to start rounding from your tailbone, your lumbar, and then allowing that chest to travel down towards the mat. And if you want to look towards your feet and see where your head's going to land, then do so. If you are up here and this is as much as you can bend, that is fine. If your head is lying in the groove, that is fine too. Keep checking in what feels right to your body today. And we're going to stay here for 5 breaths. The longer we are in a position, and the longer we can exhale, the softer the muscles become, the bigger the range of motion becomes. So let's be patient with a bit of tension here. Breathe into your hips and allow them to surrender. Very often we hold on somewhere deep in our body without even knowing until we get a chance to just sit. And then we realize, my right hip, why is it not moving? Mentally I'm holding on to it. Let me give it some freedom and let me allow it to just become loose. If you find any tension or any impingement anywhere, direct your attention there, and maybe you can find out what it is, what you're holding on to. It is said that we do store our traumas in our hips. So by sitting in this position or any other hip opening position, we can support the release of trauma. I'm going to stay here for another 3 breaths. And 2. And last inhale. And beautiful long exhale. And the next inhale, lift your head from wherever it was and use your hands to slowly walk and come to an upright seated position. Don't straighten your spine yet. Still leave your shoulders relaxed away from your ears and your head bent. And only now start grounding through your sit bones and start straightening your spine from your tailbone through your lumbar spine into your upper back and squaring your shoulders. Take your palms and place them onto your knees, palms facing up, and just sit and go into your hips, maybe entire lower body to see how you feel. On the next inhale, use your hands to move your knees together and cross those knees. Place your hands behind your body and just sway them, those knees from side to side so that you can close those hip joints. Again, inhale, uncross and recross those knees. Very good. Come to lie onto your back on your mat. We're going to go into bridge pose. Scoot your heels close enough to your glutes so that you can touch them with your fingertips. Your feet are hip distance apart. The big toes are facing each other. And remember, there's a balloon in between your knees and there's a ping pong ball in between your chin and your chest. So you're squeezing that ball in between your chin and chest, and you'll feel your neck elongating, maybe even pressing into your mat. We're going to inhale, pressing firmly into the soles of our feet, and we're only going to tilt that pelvis up slightly. So basically, your pubic bone wants to come say hi to your nose. That's the kind of feeling you should get. You should get a nice stretch in your quads and along your psoas. And then slowly lower your glutes down onto the mat again. On the next inhale, we're going to lift those glutes off the ground again. We're going to move that lower back off the mat until about mid-back, still firmly pressing the soles of your feet into the mat. You're squeezing the balloon in between your knees, the ping pong ball in between the chin and your chest, and your hands are resting on the mat. And exhale, slowly lower down your spine onto the mat. Be gentle. Imagine it's a pearl necklace and you're lowering one pearl after the other onto the mat. And pay attention to your iliosacral joint. On the next inhale, we're going to come all the way up, lifting the entire back off the mat so you have the weight on your shoulders. Roll your upper arms and shoulders under your body. Interlace your fingers and pressing the outside of your hands and arms into the mat, still firmly pressing soles of our feet into the mat, squeezing the balloon and squeezing that ping pong ball in between our chin and chest. Feel that opening along the entire front side of your body. Inhale into your belly and chest, opening it up towards the ceiling. Don't look left or right anymore the minute you have weight on your neck, please. And on the next exhale, release your fingers, uncurl your shoulders and upper arms, and slowly and mindfully lower your spine onto the mat. On the next inhale, curl your knees towards your chest, cross those knees, and either hold onto your knees and gently pull them towards your chest, feeling a stretch in your outer hips and glutes. Keep your shoulder blades firmly connected to the mat and your neck is nice and long. If this is not enough of a stretch, grab your ankles or feet and gently tug them down towards the mat. You'll feel it. If your right knee is closer to your chest, you'll feel that stretch in your right outer hips and the piriformis. And on the next inhale, uncross and recross those knees, either grabbing knees and pulling them towards your chest or grabbing the ankles or feet and gently tugging them down towards the mat. Shoulders are connected to the mat and your neck is long. If your left knee is closer to your chest now, you'll feel the stretch in your left outer hip and left piriformis. On the next inhale, uncross your legs and stretch them up towards the ceiling. Take your arms up too. Feet are flexed, hands are flexed, fingers are splayed. Try to splay your toes as well. Everything is engaged. Your shoulder blades are connected to the mat. Your neck is nice and long. Bear pose, just imagine you're keeping the ceiling off your body. Stretch those legs, engage your quads and shins and toes. Your core muscles are not engaged. Try to find an angle between your lower and upper body that does not require core muscle action. Your arms are strong, as are your hands. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And now shake it all out. Your toes, your fingers, your ankles, anything that needs to be shaken out, shake it out. For another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then slowly lower your legs and arms down onto the mat. Palms are facing down. Once your body's relaxed onto your mat, I'd like you to inhale, arch your lower back, lift your chest off the mat, shoulders off the mat. Your body weight is supported by the back of your head, the palms of your hands, and your tailbone and legs. On your exhale, slowly lower your neck and shoulder girdle and shoulder blades down onto the mat. Flatten your lower spine. Gently press your lumbar spine into the mat and you'll feel that stretch in your psoas. And on the next inhale, we're going to arch that lower back one more time. Raise that upper back off the mat. Raise your shoulders off the mat. Palms are firmly pressing into the mat. You want to engage your legs and point your toes, do so. And then slowly exhale and lower your shoulders and upper back onto the mat, pressing your lumbar spine into the mat, slightly tilting your pelvis. And then allow your spine to find its natural curve. Turn your palms facing up. Lengthen your neck spine so it's nice and flush with the mat. So are your shoulder blades. Allow your feet and ankle to slightly fall out. Allow your breathing to find its natural calm rhythm. We're going to flow into Shavasana and then into the guided meditation. So make sure that you're warm enough and comfortable enough. Your feet and ankles, relax. Your calves, your knees, relax. Your thighs, your hips, relax. Your lower back, your belly, relax. Your chest, your shoulders, relax. Your arms, your wrists, your fingers, relax. Your neck, the back of your head, relax. Your forehead, your eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, relax. The tip of your nose, your lips, your chin, relax. Your cheeks, your ears, relax. The entire backside of your body, relax. The entire front side of your body, relax. Surrender your entire body weight down towards the mat. And allow it to sink to the center of the earth, where it's protected and safe. Allow your mind to empty what it no longer needs to hold on to. Let it go. Let it flow out and away. Allow your body to release what it no longer needs to hold on to. Let it go. Flow out and away. And draw yourself back from where you have been in your day. Draw your energies back home to your center. Grounding yourself in this moment, here, now. Begin to sense the space around you. Breathe with the space and become aware of the rise and fall of your breath. It's coming and going. The sensation, the sound, the temperature. Breathe down to where the weight of your body rests, below the base of your spine, to your root, your chakra of belonging. And breathe into your root. Let it soften and gently expand on your breath, taking in nourishment and life force energy. Allow your root to connect down to the ground below, deep into the earth. And invite in the color red, the color of the earth. Bathe your root with red, empowering, embodying, grounding you in the here and now. Let your root take what it needs. And say the words, I am here. I have a right to be here as I am. The earth supports me. When you're ready, allow your awareness to move up to your belly, just below your navel, to your hara, your chakra of emotional intelligence. choice, creativity, movement, and pleasure. Breathe deeply into your hara and let it gently soften and expand on your breath. Taking in nourishment and life force energy. Invite in the color orange, the color of the setting sun. Bathe your hara with orange, balancing, empowering, motivating. Let your hara be fed and say the words, I honor my needs. I allow myself to be nourished. When you're ready, move your awareness up to the soft area just below your breastbone, to your solar plexus, your chakra of personal power. Breathe into here, allowing your solar plexus to soften and expand on your breath. And invite in the color yellow, the color of sunshine. Bathe your solar plexus with sunshine, replenishing, restoring, nurturing. Letting your solar plexus take what it needs as you say the words, I value myself. I am enough. I am more than enough. I am worth my weight in gold. When you're ready, bring your awareness up to the center of your chest, to your heart, your chakra of self-development and unconditional love. Gently breathe into your heart, letting it soften and expand on your breath. Invite in the color green or rose pink, whichever feels right to you today. Bathe your heart center with nourishment, renewal, and healing. Let your heart take what it needs and say the words, I am greatly loved. I allow myself to give and receive love freely. I am nourished by the power of love. In your own time, move up to your neck, to your throat, your chakra of self-expression and personal will. Allow your throat center to soften, expand, and breathe. Inviting in blue, the color of the sky. Breathe sky into your throat center, clearing, opening, softening the need for control, freeing self-expression and creativity. Let your throat take what it needs and say the words, I hear and speak my truth. I express myself freely. I allow myself to go with the flow of life. When you're ready, take your focus up to your forehead, the space between your eyebrows, your third eye, your chakra of wisdom and intuition, gently allowing it to soften, expand, and breathe. Inviting in indigo, the velvety color of night sky. Bathe your third eye with indigo, soothing, balancing, bringing clarity, insight, and understanding. Let your third eye take what it needs and say the words, everything is unfolding as it should. Moving up in your own time to the top of your head, to your crown, your chakra of oneness, allowing your crown to breathe. And gently invite in a light violet, softly bathing your crown, balancing, restoring, harmonizing. Let your crown take what it needs and say the words, I am one with the universe. I am one with the whole. When you're ready, slowly come back to yourself as a whole, back to the ebb and flow of your breath, back to your center. And breathe deeply into your core and say the words, I am whole. I am perfect. just as I am. To allow the energy of the words to bathe your body, mind, and soul, and take what you need. In your own time, become aware of the air on the surface of your body, the sounds around you, near and far. And close your chakras down just a little. Just having the intention is enough. Become aware of the support beneath you. Notice how you feel. And hold yourself with loving kindness for the beautiful, unique being that you are. Take a deep breath into your belly. Wriggle your fingers and toes. Slowly waking up your body, and then stretch your arms above your head, giving your body a nice stretch from your fingertips all the way down to the tip of your toes. When you're ready, gently curl your knees up towards your chest and sway from side to side, activating Ida and Pingala, the nadis left and right of your spine. And come to roll in an embryo position either on the left or the right side, curling yourself into a small ball, allowing that calmness to wash over you. And when you're ready, come up to an upright seated position of your choice, rooting down through your sit bones one last time, lengthening that spine, relaxing your shoulders away from your ears and relaxing your face. Palms are either on your knees or in your lap. Allow your attention to travel throughout your body. Should you find any dis-ease or discomfort, acknowledge it on your inhale and let it go on your exhale. Take your hands in heart, Anjali, not towards your heart center, slightly touching your sternum with your thumb. Lowering your forehead down towards your fingertips, recalling that mantra, dedication, affirmation, or wish from beginning of the class. And repeat it to yourself 3 times. Moving your thumbs up towards your forehead. With gratitude and love, I realize who I am. Take your thumbs down to your heart center. With gratitude and love, I realize what I have. With gratitude and love, I realize what I have to give. Allow that feeling to spread throughout your physical and emotional body, out into the world, into the universe, and allow it to touch as many people as you'd like it to touch today and the days to come. And slowly open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me.